Alright YouTube, well it's a really windy day today, so I'm trying to do this video between wind bursts, but today's the day I'm going to pull all the pistons out, the rest of the pistons, because tomorrow we have the counterbore guy coming out to cut the counterbores for the sleeves. So I'm going to try and show you a little bit of that process, just to show you how I'm doing it and what worked for me. So we'll get right on that. So one of the things I'm doing is right here there's about a little lip of carbon and whatnot. It's not so bad on this cylinder, but on this cylinder it kind of is, and it made it really hard to get the piston out of the number one. So what I've been doing is just kind of taking a little bit of a razor blade and trying to scrape all the crap off so it comes off a little easier. So I've already got number two over here set up to do that, so let's see how easy that piston comes out. So one of the first things you're going to want to do is get the piston down there at bottom dead center so you have easier access to the rod bolts. Alright, I'm hoping y'all can see this pretty good, but you see that number two isn't quite at bottom dead center, so I'm going to have Jill go ahead and bar the engine over. Jill, can you turn it about 1/8 of a turn, please? A little more. A little more. Alright, right there, that's good. Okay, as you can see, where'd we go? Jill's got it at bottom dead center, and we're going to go ahead and take the bolts loose. You're going to need a 15 millimeter 12 point to get onto these bolts here. So let me go ahead and get those out, and I'll be right back. Alright. So I got all four of the bolts out of here. It's hard to do without. But what I like to do, because it's going to be on there a little tight, I like to use two bolts, and I put them in there, one on each side, and then I use those, kind of wedge them, and then rock the rod cap off. So wish I could show you me doing that, but I can't. There's only room for one under here, and I will get it done, and I'll be right back to show you. So I'm really trashing my camera under here, but on each side of the cap there's numbering, and you want to make sure that rods go back in the same way. So really just for documentary purposes for myself, the S716 goes on the passenger side. S716 goes on the passenger side. Alright, so you can see I got the main cap off, so it's on to the next thing. Alright, so I got it popped up that far by hand, and from pushing it from underneath, so we're going to go ahead and get it out the rest of the way. And I'm only going to show you guys one of these, so you don't have to bear with me through the other four. But it gets kind of sticky down there when you got the crank in the way, and you can move it, but you really got to get the piston kind of at least halfway up out of there before you can turn the crank, or you'll jack the crank up while you're trying to do it. Pretty great. Alright, so now all I got to do is try not to cut my fingers off.
Yeah, keep those.
And we can pull this piston out. It's going to be a heavy beast. Oh, there we go. There you go, YouTube. Number two is out. That doesn't sound right. Well, that definitely made it a lot easier scraping the smegma off the top of the sleeve there, so the piston came out fairly easy. So I'm going to get the other four done. And so remember I was talking about the numbers on the rods. There's that S716 and its corresponding number on the cap. There's a whole nother set of numbers on the other side, as you can tell. But basically you want them to go in the same direction they were in, and you can't get these caps like backwards because they got dowel pins in there. So I don't know, maybe you can. Yeah, the holes look the same size, But anyway, you want to keep those numbers together so that the caps on there are the same way, and then you want to make sure it's they're in the same hole. All right, guys, so we got all the rods and pistons out now. As you can see, there's sunlight up there. So the final preparation that I'm making is I'm just kind of wrapping all these journals with a rag and tape, as you can see here. And because when they do the counterbores, I want to make sure I don't get any kind of metal chips or anything anywhere. So I got 3 to go. I got 3 down, 3 more to go. But damn, it's gonna be so hard to get out of here. I think I'm just gonna spend the night. So, all right, if y'all remember, I was talking about the gasket kit and I couldn't find those plugs for the oil galleys. This is what I was talking about. So what I did is I stuck a little 3/8 bolt in here, and those are the oil galleys that drop down to the bottom of the engine. That actually goes like through the crankshaft and everything, sort of jack everything up. So I put these 3/8 bolts in here. I actually got that idea from Larry Schroeder, and so that's how that works. You could also use them little squeezy earplugs. That really work great. But that's what I'm doing for right now. All right, guys. So we got all the pistons out, and tomorrow the bore guy is going to come out. He's going to go ahead and pull the rest of the liners. He'll cut the bores, check them, check the depth, and then reinstall the liners, and we'll be good to go. So one of the things I wanted to show you guys is, so we see all the numbers up here. You can see all my pistons, but I also did a little stamp. It's probably going to be really hard for you to see. 5, number 5, number 4, number 4, number 3, and so on. So that's what I did to keep it, you know, in order, so I knew which cylinder it went in. But yeah, that's what we do over here. Alright, guys, so I'm sure I kind of look like a peach right now, but I appreciate you tuning in. I'm really looking forward to tomorrow and start getting them cylinders. I got all my parts, got my ring compressor today. Got my ring compressor today, so after the bore guy, the counterbore guy does his job, it's gonna start happening pretty quickly. So the only thing I'm gonna need extra now that I haven't got already is I'm gonna replace the belts, the hoses, and there's a couple idler pulleys and belt tensioners. But you know, all comes in its time. So when we get to it, we'll deal with it. So until next time, we'll see you all soon.